Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown. This week featuring Wake up, wake up. Can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up. Make it strong, please. Hey. Oh. Hey. Wake up, wake up. Oh. No, really, can I have some coffee? Wake up, wake up.
Like, do you know when you write a sentence in text, the first letter would be capitalized? Yeah. You turn that, they turn it off.
Who do?
The kids. Good morning, everyone.
Hey, guys. It's Friday, November 17th. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah, we've got a really fun show for you today. I stopped by the 411 Gallery a few weeks ago to talk to Liz Carney. It's one of my favorite galleries in town. We have an interview of Liz Carney.
You know my Liz Carney story, right?
No.
Liz Carney was like painting on the Santa Monica Pier once, and my friend Monica walked by and was like, "Oh, that's really beautiful." And they started talking, and then Liz was like, "I'm from Provincetown," and Monica was like, "Do you know Bob Keary?" And Liz was like, "Of course I do." Like, this is Provincetown.
Totally.
Everywhere. Just drop it. Ask somebody.
Whenever people are like, "Oh, I love Provincetown," I'm like, "Oh, you know Bob Keary?" And they're like, "No." I'm like, "You don't love Provincetown." We also have May Meade coming in to talk about cannabis and psilocybin. She's here already. And we also have the Petty Four coming in to talk about their upcoming show that's running the weekend after Thanksgiving and also Holly Folly weekend.
I love that we were like, what's... I asked Harry what May Meade does, and he goes, mushroom prevention.
The opposite.
I was like, prevention?
We're not preventing anything. It's early. I misspoke. How you've been gone for so long, Bob? What were you doing?
I have. How was the last 2 weeks?
They were great.
Kristen was here last
Kristen
week.
did an amazing job, and Hutchinson did an amazing job.
What?
I said it was smooth.
Smooth. I love smooth.
Yeah. Where did you go? What did you do? What did you see? Who did you see?
2 weeks ago, I was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction to see a Missy Elliott concert.
There were so many people performing
There
there, right?
were so many. It was one of the best shows I've ever seen in my life. At one point, so I guess Robbie Robertson from the band passed away. So when they did the in memoriam tribute.
What's the band's big song? Is that like
The Weight?
He Ain't Heavy, He's My Brother?
No, The Weight. I see where you're going with that.
Is that not?
No.
Heavy, weight, heavy?
He Ain't Heavy is the name of that song. The Weight is Take a Load Off, Annie.
Oh, yeah.
Take a Load for Free. And so they got Elton John, Chris Stapleton, Sheryl Crow, and Brittany Howard to come out and sing The Weight together.
Okay.
I'm like, Elton John is playing piano, Chris Stapleton. I was like, how are these four people singing this song together? It was crazy. Mind blowing. And then last weekend I was in, I almost said Washington, D.C. I misspoke. I was in Las Vegas to see Kylie Minogue.
Kylie Minogue?
I've been on a concert tour, I guess. A tour.
How was Kylie?
Brilliant, amazing,
She gave
gorgeous.
She gave the gays everything they wanted.
Oh yeah, and that crowd was. It's like a 1,000 seat venue. It's pretty.
Oh, that's pretty
it's
small, yeah.
But like 99.9% gay dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that a new residency or is it a residency?
It just opened November 3rd.
How long is she going to be there?
Till April, I think.
Oh, did you see the Sphere?
We drove by it. I didn't
That's
go
kinda all
inside
you need,
of it.
right?
Well, we were asking the Uber driver. We were like, "Should we go there?" He goes, "Oh, my friend just went. A Michelob Ultra is $40." And I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
What? What is that, P-Town?
Oh.
So it's fierce.
Oh. No, we're not doing that. $40 for a beer.
Yeah, they announced that they had this astronomical loss in their first quarter that they were open.
$99 million.
Yeah, something crazy like that. The first residency was U2, but I think their financial worries might be over soon because they did. I heard this from multiple sources, but I feel like it would have been bigger news if this was actually true. So I'm wondering if it's not.
What?
But I heard that Beyonce is going to be the next residency at the Sphere. Which
Is that true?
It's a rumor.
Ethan says yes.
As the greatest performer of all time and greatest creative performer of all time, I am so excited to see what she does with that. That's going to be wild.
No, that'll be really cool if it's
I'm
true.
gonna
But also,
empty my savings account to go see it.
they said that they made this announcement. They're like, oh, the Sphere lost $100 million, but like that fiscal quarter ended like the day before the Sphere opened.
Oh,
So
I
they're
got
like-
you.
it's like
so it was
a-
just like that's how much they spent.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll sell like 5 or 6 Michelob Ultras, and they'll be right back on track.
Right?
That's
Have you ever spent
crazy.
$40 for beer?
I've never spent $40 on a drink.
Really? So you haven't been to...
That's a lie.
Oh, never mind.
There used to be a bar in Boston called Wink and Nod. It might still be there, and they had a drink called the Millionaire's Martini, and I went with my friend who just bought me 3 of them, and I was like,
What's in it?
okay. I think that it was like chartreuse VEP, which is like a really high-end chartreuse. I can't remember the other things, but it did have saffron bitters in it, and I think that was the thing. The like lore around it is that the chef flew to France to get these saffron bitters and like carried them back on the plane in his hands or something ridiculous like that. But
Did it taste worth it?
no,
You had 3
of course
them.
not.
You can, by the 3rd one, it's like...
They were delicious, but you can also get a $14 cocktail that's delicious.
Right.
Yeah.
What did you do while I was gone?
Oh my
What
god, I
you do
did.
this
I
week?
did so much. What did I do this week? I didn't do much, honestly.
No?
Yeah, it was one of those weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You cut your hair.
Oh yeah, I shaved my head. I had my Britney Spears moment. I'm just like too famous and sick and tired of being demanded to be pretty, so I shaved it off. No.
Oh
but
my
if you did read the
God.
new Britney Spears novel, like I
Novel. It's not a
or
novel. is it?
memoir book, but the section about that was really sad and touching about that
Oh.
breakdown. Yeah.
I haven't read it yet. Are you listening to the audiobook?
No, but I do love that Michelle Williams.
Yeah.
You can hear it at book club on Mondays.
Yeah.
Really?
At Joe Coffee.
Wait, what do you mean? Someone's reading it out loud?
Yeah, Hillary is organizing Hillary and Hannah are organizing a book club on Mondays at Joe Coffee, 7 to 9, I think. They're currently in the middle of reading the Britney Spears memoir, and they like take turns reading aloud to each other. I think that's
Oh,
so
that's
fun.
adorable.
Yeah.
I want to go to that.
Yeah, that's really
You know
cute.
that the Barbara Streisand autobiography the audiobook is 48 and a half hours long.
Well, I heard it's it's like every moment of her life. Like it all started on a blustery fall evening when my parents were feeling free. Like it's crazy. Like she starts at the beginning.
It's 900 some pages. 48 hours? That's for people who like commute to work. You listen to it in the car, right? Like
For the next 3 months.
an hour each way
Right.
to work. You know, you could bang it out in under a month.
Yeah, that's wild.
Oh my god.
I do love that part of the press tour for the Barbra Streisand book. They were like, "Who should play you in a movie?" And she's like, "There's no one."
She said that?
Yeah, I can. Was that Leah Michelle screaming? Yeah, I heard it. I heard
There's
it.
no one. She said she was really happy for Leah Michelle when she got to play Funny Girl.
Oh, nice. Nice.
She said, I know she always wanted to play it. I'm really happy for her that she got to play
Yeah,
it.
I feel like Lady Gaga
They
could
were like, did you
do
go? And she's like,
a Barbra Streisand biopic.
you think?
Yeah.
Got the nose.
Wow.
What this?
Did you see the House of Gucci?
No. You're such a monster.
That's how she said it on the whole press tour. And now a clip from House of Gucci.
Let's go. Let's take a little break. We'll go to Ann Hutchinson with the weather.
Oh, yay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted Bob
Hello
to.
everyone, it's me, Ann Hutchinson, your weather correspondent, and I just got done filming the Pink Friday holiday special here at Wake Up Provincetown, which will air next week. And all of this audacious focus on consumerism got me thinking. This winter, the weather is in your hands. And I'm not talking about climate change, I'm talking about something much more selfish. Yeah, I won't be doing any weather this winter unless you sponsor me to do so. And to be more clear about that, I won't be doing any weather this winter unless you pay me to do so. I know I look like a quickie in a Ren Fair porta potty, but you know, this takes a little bit more time than you might think. And you know, I might not be that selfish with it. I will share some of this sponsorship with the other people at Wake Up in Provincetown. What I'll do is I'll do a tailored weather segment to your business, or if you want a personal one, that's fine too. And don't go around saying you shouldn't have to pay for the weather. Thousands of dollars are spent each winter to, go somewhere like Florida and California and South America. Why not pay for a little local weather and give it a thought? So thank you so much for having me on Wake Up Provincetown this year, and I hope everyone has a happy holidays.
Say that.
Thanks, Anne. I will not. Thanks so much, Anne. Oh yeah, we need sponsorship money as well. Email us. We're looking for new winter sponsors. Oh yeah. We all got together late last night to film a really special episode for next week, so we're all a little
Very
punchy because
special
we were
episode.
here about 5 hours ago
I
finishing
know.
that.
It's like we never left.
Yeah.
We should have just slept under this desk.
Yeah, we really should have. Okay, let's talk about a few things we've got offering in town. If you haven't heard yet, the Crown and Anchor organized the Provincetown Follies, Holly Folly at the Crown. It is a brand new album of holiday music being released this Thursday on Thanksgiving. It is 15 local queer artists, all organized and produced by Jonathan Hawkins and Yaron. It's going to be really awesome. I think the lead single is on Spotify already. It is Joy to the World, sung by Jonathan Hawkins, John Richardson, and also the incredible Kaya Cristal.
There's also Kaya's iconic, legendary Carol of the Bells and some original music as well. Zoe Lewis's Peking Duck.
Sandy Claus is on it, Giselle and Jake, Brittany Rolfs. It's killer. I'm excited.
That's going to be fun. And of
Yeah.
course, the Follies concert is one of the most fun events
Oh.
of Holly Folly. So they'll be doing a lot of these numbers at the Christmas concert.
Yeah, it's going to be
Town Hall.
awesome.
I can't wait. I love Holly Folly. But first, let's not be those people that skip over Thanksgiving.
Right.
We have to have Thanksgiving before we have Holly Folly.
Yeah, it was a little weird last night. I had to break out my Christmas tree for next Friday's show because it is our first show of the holiday season.
Yes, please tune in next week
Yeah, it's
for
gonna be
our
awesome.
holiday gift giving guide. There's so much local stuff.
Yeah.
Come, shop local, buy local. Buy, what was the,
You almost got it.
I did.
Yeah. Tune in next week to find out the third phrase in that sentence. We put together a holiday gift guide in honor of Pink Friday. Pink Friday is the Provincetown Business Guild initiative to encourage people to shop local and queer right here in Provincetown. Yeah, so tune in. You're going to see all the gifts you're going to want to buy from local queer businesses for all your friends and loved ones.
Do you want to do local news or world news?
Speaking of
first?
gifts, this is the cutest thing I've ever
Oh
seen in
my
my life.
God.
Bonnie Beth Abelou produced this amazing calendar featuring their lovely dog Neptune. He's dressed up in costumes for each month. This is so cute. Yeah, they handcraft all these costumes. I think they even photograph them themselves.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, so it's $25 plus $3 shipping if needed. They can deliver locally, or they can meet up or mail it. Please contact Bonnie and Beth. If you want an order, email we2sisters@aol.com. That is also in the description. You can get that right from the description here.
Yeah, if you don't know who the Abelou sisters are, then you've never been to any show in Provincetown ever.
They're the ones sitting front row at every show
They
in
are.
town.
They're like the #1 supporters of the arts
Yeah.
in town, and their dog Neptune is so precious.
That is so cute. For the reading I did a couple weeks ago, they were there front row with Neptune, and I did a lot of yelling. My character was very angry, and Neptune was confused by it. He's like, why is that person screaming?
He always,
The s'mores.
Oh my god, that's so cute!
his little tongue sticks out.
Oh my god. So this is the 2024 calendar that you want. Scoop one up.
Great gift for the holiday
Yeah.
season.
Okay, now let's do some news.
Okay. What's happening in the world?
Wait, did you read about the Grammy nominations? Let's talk Grammy nominations.
Okay, let's talk about the Grammy nominations because I know you feel very strongly about this.
When Beyonce didn't win last year, I was like, what are we doing here? And I was just like, this is such a joke. I feel like...
She did win, didn't she? She just didn't win every category. And you were just complaining about people that win every category.
Well, she has won more Grammys than anyone else, but never Album of the Year. And after her self-titled, and that one should have won, and then Lemonade should have won, and then last year should have won too. All of them should have won. Everyone. And said Taylor Swift. I'm not going to get into it.
Get into it. We are doing this so that you can get into it.
I just feel like the Grammys, they are a self-fulfilling organization that all the awards themselves aren't given out to recognize music. They are instead given out to further their own agenda and make themselves seem important. Rather than awarding people all across music, they would rather have like one person at the end, like struggling to hold 10 of them so that they could be on the cover of every magazine and newspaper the next day.
Nobody has ever won 10 Grammys in one night.
Didn't Billie Eilish win like 7 2 years ago?
Maybe.
That's what I mean, though. I just feel like there's so much incredible music, and I feel like this is the nail in the coffin for me. Chris Brown got nominated for Best R&B Vocal, and that's
You don't
crazy.
like him?
No, I don't. No.
Why?
And even without all the scandal, he's not in the top 5 best R&B vocals this year. There's endless amounts. I could make a playlist of 300 people that should have been nominated before him. And there also was so many snubs this year.
Who got snubbed?
The biggest person that I'm most upset about is Renee Rapp did not get any nominations. Her album Snow Angel came out this year. The album's incredible. She's going to be one of the most famous musicians and performers in the world within 2 or 3 years, I guarantee it.
You think?
Yeah.
We'll see.
I mean, last time I said that about someone, it was this artist who had one song out. I posted on my Facebook, and I'm like, this is going to be the most famous woman in the world in a few years. And that woman is Dua Lipa.
You did say that. I will give you that.
She had one song out, and I posted it on my Facebook when people posted on Facebook. And I was like, this woman is going to be so famous. And now she's one of the biggest female artists of all time. She is.
She's not.
She's in the top like 30 best-selling female artists of all time.
With 2 albums?
Yeah.
No, she's not.
Yes.
No.
She's one of the most streamed artists of all time. She's like number 3rd.
Yeah, but whatever. You know what? I was mad when Dua Lipa didn't win Album of the Year. She lost to Taylor Swift one year. And she should have won.
For Future Nostalgia?
Yes!
Yeah. She had a new song come out last week, Houdini. It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love her. Wait,
Was it you saying that it should, or maybe it was Todd, saying that it like should have been a Halloween release?
oh, Todd said that.
Yeah.
Probably.
And I feel like it should have been. Houdini, it could have like a spooky music video. Yeah. But let's talk about who did get nominated for the Grammys, I guess. Leading the pack was SZA. I think she got 9 nominations.
Do not say anything bad about SZA.
I love
or I will
SZA.
flip this table over.
Sure, yeah. Victoria Monet also got 7 nominations, which is kind of wild. For me, that came out of nowhere. I love them, but I didn't realize that they were. But I feel like that's another example of like the Recording Academy like plucked her to be like, you're going to be the one we put on a pedestal this year.
Mm-hmm. Janelle Monáe was nominated for Album of the Year for Age of Pleasure.
Mm-hmm. Troye Sivan got his first Grammy nominations, received 2 nominations, one for Best Music Video for Rush, and then another for Best Pop Dance Recording. It's going to be the Battle of the Aussies for that one.
That's the new category,
yeah.
Pop Dance.
Oh, is it? It is? No way. And Kylie Minogue also got nominated, who I imagine will win.
Kylie only has 1 Grammy.
That's crazy. For what?
Best Dance Recording for, I think, Come Into My World.
Oh, okay. But not like Can't Get You Out of My Head, or what was the other
It was
one?
that era.
Baby, when I
She closes with Love at First Sight. Oh,
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's
Jealous.
great. I know.
Very, very jealous.
So good.
Also, another snub that I was surprised by, Sam Smith didn't get any nominations for his album, especially considering Unholy, the lead single from that album, won a Grammy last year, and then to receive none?
yeah,
That
they're over
seems
him.
weird. Ooh.
Like you say, they pick people to annoy, and then they're like, oh, we're done with you.
Yeah. Such a
He
bummer.
doesn't care. He has an Oscar, a bunch of Grammys, probably has a Tony.
No.
He's fine.
I guess that's it for Grammys. Let's talk local news.
Okay.
We've been talking about the Truro Part-Time Resident Taxpayers Association voter fraud scandal for weeks now, and this might be like the end of it. Of the 60, I'm just like, I think this might be the last update because I think they finished all their hearings. So of the 66 registrations that were challenged, 35 of them have been removed from the voter rolls. 21 of those did
Removed
themselves, and the other 14 were removed through hearings. That's great.
It's totally legal, though.
It does.
Yeah, remember?
Based on the initial reporting, it seemed like it was only legal if they knew and intentionally did it, which
Illegal.
is hard. Yeah, which is hard to prove.
Right.
But yeah.
Well,
We want more people here voting in town, but we want that to come with people being residents here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We want more residents and therefore more people voting. Be a resident here, live here longer, spend more time here, and then vote here.
yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't say you didn't know anymore. Just kidding. Speaking,
That's all the way in Truro.
might as well be Connecticut.
No, I just loved at the last town meeting when Mary Jo Avalar was like, "Thank you, Provincetown voters, for registering the right way."
I almost,
Like, are you listening?
I almost
Drew?
yelled out, "Did we check? Are we sure?" Senator Julian Cyr this past week introduced a new campaign finance bill. And this is basically because Massachusetts has some pretty strict campaign finance laws. And these run the gamut from local select board elections all the way up to statewide elections. But Julian feels like there is a giant loophole because it doesn't include town meetings as far as campaign finance law. So he introduced, and it's called, between him and Representative Dylan Fernandez of Falmouth, they introduced, it's called an act relative to dark money in local government. And there's a few examples that kind of, I think, perked Julian up to this happening. One of them happened in Nantucket. Let me see. There was articles to limit short-term rentals, kind of similar to the articles that we had on Provincetown's town meeting this past spring. And out of that, a group called the Alliance to Protect Nantucket's Economy emerged and spent thousands of dollars campaigning against these. And it was entirely anonymous. They called it like a citizens movement, even though there was no names mentioned along with it. Entirely anonymous who was the organizers of that. And then afterwards, it came out that it was also not registered as a corporation or a nonprofit. And it was later discovered that it was formed by the Copley Group, which is a real estate investment firm that operates a dozen short-term rentals on Nantucket.
Surprise, surprise.
Right. And
well, just like when we were getting texts right before our town meeting, which had 3 articles restricting short-term rentals.
Yeah,
like
it was
anonymous text messages.
It was from the Provincetown Citizens for Housing Solutions.
Who's that?
I mean, real estate agents are citizens, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Oh, I have a lot of friends who are real estate agents, but like I hated getting like an anonymous text telling me what to vote for.
it was also like an area code from like Maryland or something.
Yeah, it was very sketchy, dark money.
Yeah. Basically, the bill would make so that town meetings and warrant articles are included under the state law that requires candidates and outside groups to disclose their spending and their funding sources.
Good, thank you, Senator Cyr.
Yeah. They called it a profoundly undemocratic loophole. Yeah,
I'd say.
I agree. I got some global news now.
What?
Well, maybe not global, LA.
Yeah.
The gay bar at the Abbey and also the chapel at the Abbey sold this past week. The previous owner, Dave Cooley, had owned it for 33 years. Tech and hotel entrepreneur Tristan Shoecroft bought it. He is the CEO of Mr., which is the largest telemedicine provider of free online HIV care, including PrEP in the United States and Puerto Rico.
Oh.
Yeah. He's a longtime patron of the Abbey. This past year, in June, he also purchased The Trust, which is a boutique hotel in Puerto Rico that also came with a nightclub space. It was previously Circa, that he hopes to reopen as a nightclub. Whenever I see these like landmark spaces being purchased, I'm always like, are they going to keep it? Or are they going to turn into condos? Luckily, this new owner plans to keep them queer spaces, nightclubs, dance clubs, which is really important.
Congratulations to David Cooley as well.
Yeah,
And
he's
thank
kind
you
of
for
a
doing that for as long as you
P-Towny
did.
person, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We see him in the summer.
Yeah. He had a really fun 4th of July party a couple of summers down at Delft Haven.
Oh, nice. How was it?
That's where I met Lance Bass.
Oh, yeah.
At David Cooley's 4th of July party.
I met Lance Bass at Chris and Chris's wedding I
that's
think it's their
right.
1-year anniversary.
It
Congratulations,
is. Happy
Chris and
anniversary,
Chris.
Chris and Chris.
Stop by the brewery and buy a beer and toast to them. Also this past Saturday, was Megan Rapinoe's last game as a professional athlete. The 30-year-old is a 2-time World Cup winner and Olympic gold medalist.
How old is she?
38.
38.
Professional sports, you retire early.
Yeah.
She couldn't hold back her tears in the pregame press conference. And she has been an advocate for equal pay in sports, women's rights, queer rights, racial equity, and she has been in the forefront of this movement. And they just announced this past Thursday this huge media deal for the National Women's Soccer League. all 118 of their games and matches in 2024 are going to be shown on either Amazon Prime, Paramount Plus, ESPN, or CBS, which is huge. And often women's sports don't get the due that they deserve, and they don't get televised, which is hard to gain a following and fans without having any way to watch them besides going to the games. So this is a huge deal for women's sports in general, but especially women's soccer.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to watch your soccer games.
At the VSB meeting, women's sports came up, and I just had a critique of like something, and then someone was like, I won't have someone say that like women's sports deserve respect. And I was like, me? I was like, you're accusing me of not doing that? But I clarified. Also, this last week were the Country Music Awards, and history was made when Tracy Chapman became the first black woman to win Song of the Year. This comes 35 years after Fast Car debuted. And this past July, Luke Combs released a cover of it, which won Song of the Year at the Country Music Awards. It went #1 on the country airplay, also making Tracy Chapman the first black woman to top that chart since that chart's inception in 1990. Tracy Chapman is the sole songwriter of that song, so all the credit goes to her. She won a Grammy for it in 1989 and for Best Female Pop Vocal Performance, and she also won Best New Artist and Folk Album of the Year that year.
She's a lesbian too, I think.
Yeah.
Work, Tracy. She's largely vanished from the public eye, but genius. And I remember reading somewhere that where in her high school yearbook, she was voted most likely to become a rock star.
No way. They were right.
Yeah.
Just a little follow-up. We're talking about George Santos and all of his legal troubles for the past few months, years. But they released a congressional ethics report this past week, and he called the report biased. But they did conclude that George Santos knowingly violated several federal laws and ethics standards. But my favorite that came out of it was how he specifically misused those campaign funds. Among the things that
Sephora?
Yeah, he used campaign funds for Sephora purchases, also Botox and OnlyFans subscriptions.
And Hermes.
Ooh, and Hermes.
Oh.
$4,000.
Bougie.
$4,000 on Hermes?
Probably
one scarf.
Yeah, probably $4,000 at Sephora too.
What was that team's name last night at trivia?
Oh, I can't remember. It was like George Santos's OnlyFans fundraising super PAC. We love to see it.
Oh man, biased.
Yeah.
He's like, these people don't like Hermes.
A couple more local news. The East End Books is opening a location in the Seaport, so stay tuned for that. In the Boston Seaport.
Oh.
I wonder if it's still going to be East End Books or something else.
Seaport Books, maybe?
Seaport Books. But congratulations to the whole team over at
that's
East End
fun.
Books. They've just been posting pictures about their build out this past week. Also, there's going to be the Provincetown Health Department and the Outer Cape Wellness Collaborative are hosting a free COVID and flu vaccine clinic at the Provincetown Library on this Monday, November 20th from 3 to 5. Please, they do ask that people register online, but walk-ins are also welcome. Last night, What the Constitution Means to Me opened at the Provincetown Theater. Tonight is a Pay What You Want night, and it runs this weekend and also next Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They don't have a show on Thanksgiving. I heard it's a really moving piece.
Who's in it?
Ann Stott.
Oh.
It's not a one-woman show, but like it is mostly
It's
one
her
woman.
show, kinda.
Yeah, exactly. But it gets into like how the Constitution affects your life, the inspiration of certain parts, and how that has changed throughout the existence of our country. So, yeah.
You know what? Can I say something really quickly?
It's your show, babe.
I haven't been here since our last week at work. I missed the 2 shows that have happened since then. Something happened
What
on my
happened?
last night at work.
Something bad happened.
Yeah, but this has happened before.
No.
What do you mean no?
Wait, what are you talking about?
I'm talking about there's a local business owner. It's hard to even refer to this place as a business.
is
'cause
what
it's
I
never open. This person came into where I work, had 3 drinks. I know this because I made them. And then the next day came in with the receipt, probably thinking that I wouldn't be there, and like complained that we overcharged them. And was like, I only had 2 drinks. Caused a huge scene in the lobby. It was the last day of the year that we were open. packed. The lobby's packed. I had a couple of friends who witnessed this. And he's like, you know Rachel, our manager, she's like 5'1", 100 pounds soaking wet. He's like berating her and screaming in her face that he was overcharged. And like I had friends in the lobby who were like, we were like scooting closer because we were worried for her. Like it was such an ugly scene. And she came up, like I happened to be there visiting you. I was sitting at the bar as a customer and she came over and she's like, remember that person that came in yesterday? He's saying that you overcharged him. And I'm like, this person actually did the same thing to me 2 years previously.
And we talked about it on the show.
And we talked about it on this show. And I almost lost my mind. And we went back and looked at the timestamps because you can do that with this computer system. And it showed exactly when this person had those drinks. So should I just tell you who it is?
No.
Okay. Anyway, it was a terrible way to go out is all I'm saying. And I'm just gonna have to tell all the other bars. This person has done this at other bars too. Goes in the next day and is like, if I overcharged you, tell me when it happened. But you didn't do that because it didn't happen. This person doesn't watch the show, I don't think, but.
We'll see.
He's out running his business.
Sure.
Correct.
No, I mean, just to have your integrity called into question by a pathological liar.
Again.
Again. I don't know why I brought that up. I'm getting really hot now.
Okay, one more thing, then we're going to go to the video. This Sunday at 3 o'clock right here at the brewery, they are doing just a little, inviting their neighbors and friends of the brewery to come and chat about their new licensing that they're going for. So stop by here at 3 if you want to be a part of that discussion.
That's today?
Sunday. Yeah. Awesome. So I hung out with Liz Carney over at the 411 Gallery a couple weeks ago. It's one of my favorite galleries in town, and my first big boy art purchase was made right at the 411 Gallery, and we talk about it in this video.
Oh.
Good morning. We are here at the 411 Gallery right on Commercial Street. We are here with Liz, the owner of the 411 Gallery. Thank you so much for sitting down with me today.
I'm so happy. This is fantastic.
I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite galleries in town. The art here is utterly beautiful. You do such a great job curating. How do you find your artists?
So we are an exclusively Outer Cape artist collective, basically. The gallery is owned by me, but we really do kind of have this feeling of being a collective, and people often remark on that when they come here. And it's because everybody's right here, either in Truro or in Provincetown. And the thing about this community in Provincetown is that obviously it's been an art colony for like over 100 years, and it's been artists have been gravitating here. But showing who's here now is really critical. So the gallery's program is rooted in who's at the art association in the open show that I just saw. I saw that one piece and I was like, oh my god. Or an artist named Janine Evers who's been showing since I opened. I was at a dinner party and I saw something on the mantelpiece, just a little tiny piece, and I was like, who made that? The best story about who we have here, I mean there's so many good stories about it, but Pete Hawking, for example, he came to Provincetown, rented a room in this house, and we would talk in the driveway about like art while we're carrying in our groceries. We really knew each other as neighbors. And, him talking about his history in the arts, my history in the arts, and I said, you should really have a show here. And he said, but Liz, you haven't seen my paintings. And I said, I don't need to. I know how you talk about your work. And I also know that he's committed to town. So when you ask how do I find people, it's a little bit random, but it's a little bit Provincetown.
Yeah, it all sounds so serendipitous.
It is, and I feel like that's a story of Provincetown, is that if you allow the community to be what it is naturally, this kind of eccentric, queer, random place, the cream rises and it finds its way. Like it finds a community together in this gallery, I think. I'm really happy with it.
I mean, one thing I noticed is like all the art here is so different, but so cohesive at the same time. How did it seems like it organically happened because of the way you find your artists, but how?
Well, so absolutely. We show work by people who are making abstract paintings, people making landscapes. Paul's working somewhat figuratively, and he's also doing the landscape, but he's doing it in his very Paul way. But then he's doing still life. then he's doing this text-based work. So thinking just someone like Paul, he himself is a very varied artist, but then we have people like Pete who's exclusively painting landscapes, although he has historically painted portraits and other types of paintings. Lately he's working in landscape. We have someone like Naya Bricker who's just consistently kind of surrealistic, creating these wild assemblages in her work. Mary Giammarino, another landscape, Matthew Beeman, abstract.
This one grabs me every time I by.
Yeah.
I can't not, every time I'm turning my head to get a better look.
Sure, so I mean, absolutely, Naya is both a colorist. I mean, her understanding of color, her use of color in composition is fantastic, but she's, a local, like what I love about her is she's a dancer also. She's working at the Fine Arts Work Center. And how Naya came to Provincetown was I went out to Smith College and said, I'm looking for interns at the gallery. And Naya was a student at Smith where I had gone, and so she came to Provincetown to work at the Fine Arts Work Center as an intern there, and then helped me at the gallery. So she has this whole other life that kind of shows up in the work. And I will say this about every artist in this gallery, I don't think there's an artist in this gallery that doesn't also have another job, or two, or three.
It's very P-Town.
It's very true. And so, Naya's teaching Zumba, and she's on one of the boards she was on the board for one of the Dune Shacks for a while, and she's working at the Fine Arts Work Center. She's like, and it shows up in the paintings, I think, in the way that her paintings are so kind of compressed with lots of dynamic information. So.
I bought my first piece of art ever in my life right here. It was a Paul Rizzo original.
Yay! Thank
I'm so happy that it was here.
Oh, I'm so happy about that. Yeah. I do really want to talk about Mary Giammarino because she's here this week in Provincetown teaching painting. Mary's one of these painters who's a real sleeper, and a lot of people don't know her work, but she's been painting Provincetown landscapes for 30 years.
Wow.
With her easel. She's an exclusively plein air painter. She was trained in the Cape School tradition. The Cape School is a really interesting tradition out of Provincetown, as you probably understood from Henry Henchy and Charles Hawthorne, and the sort of American Impressionist tradition. But she's doing it with this sense of feeling and expression that I think is really exciting. So Mary's I'd say of all the artists in our gallery, she's been here in Provincetown the longest.
Wow.
Then we have someone like Helen Grimm. Helen, I wish I had a bigger Helen to show you right now, but Helen actually did some studying with Mary years ago, and Helen came to this gallery through Mary. The year I was opening this gallery, Helen came to the door with 3 little paintings tucked under her arm and knocked on the door, and I was cleaning the floors, and I had no idea what I was doing. I had no real plan for who was going to show at the gallery. I just had a handful of people, like Janine, and anyway, Helen knocks on the door and she's like, "Hi, Mary Giammarino sent me," and I went "Oh, if Mary Giammarino sent you, I want to see your painting."
Right.
So Helen, it's again that sort of way that community is sort of introducing who should be here.
It fuels itself.
Yeah,
it's this wheel that keeps turning and creating and.
Yeah, it's a really, really precious ecosystem that we have, and it's important that we take care of it. It's important that we nurture it, and thank you for buying work, because you don't even know how much that's helping. The artist Paul, for example, and then he goes and spends a little money at canteen to get something, or he goes to or he may take his sweetie out for dinner. Who knows? Or his, or just going over to buying a couple of drinks at church. Yeah. It's really important that we fuel this ecosystem and continue to fund it.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with me today. Your gallery is utterly gorgeous.
I'm so thankful that you came in, and I feel like I could talk for hours. So I hope maybe we can talk longer at some point.
Sounds great.
And I can do more of my Boston accent.
Love that.
Because that's really, really deep down. I'm a painter, but I probably want to be a performer.
I love that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's great talking.
Thank you, Liz. I always love stopping by the 411 Gallery. It's one of my favorites. That's the last of our gallery shows. We've been featuring galleries for the past few weeks. Thank you to all the gallerists who let us stop by and hang out at their gallery.
Yeah, come to town and buy some art.
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah, go for it.
Welcome to the show, Anna Meade. Anna, thank you so much for being here. This is your book, Cannabis, A Big Sister's Guide, but you're also a proponent of psilocybin?
Yeah.
Is that the
Oh,
word?
yeah, that's the new thing.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
new thing we're getting.
Well, in the same way as marijuana was criminalized by the war on some people who use certain drugs, psilocybin and mushrooms were all swept up in that. In the 70s, after they discovered acid, it all went to the therapists. And they were finding all these cures for addiction, for PTSD. And we have so much mental health needs in this country right now that there's this plant medicine that can help. And so I've started reading with Michael Pollan, like his book 3 years ago or something, and have been all caught up in it. Because these plant medicines, we can grow them very inexpensively. The harm is very low. There's this guy, you ever heard David Nutt? He used to be the drug czar in the UK. And he said, oh, cannabis is less harmful than alcohol. And they're like, no, you have to take that back. Because he was like the drug czar for the UK.
Right.
And he's like, no, you have to resign. He's like, no. And so they sacked him like the next day.
Wow.
And he wrote a book on the difference, like what drugs are legal and what drugs are harmful and what drugs are useful, and they have nothing to do with each other.
Right.
Like there's these plant medicines. Before it was criminalized, cannabis had a chapter in medical textbooks. You know, so, and the AMA was against it. So that's how it came back into legality, was the medical needs. And for me, there's just so many things like PTSD, like trauma. 2020, we all went through trauma, you know. The medical workers are retiring. 40% are leaving the profession.
Right.
So now we have natural medicine.
How did this book come to be?
Okay, so how it came to be is my sister got cancer and metastatic breast cancer, and opioids and all that just made her dopey and sick, so she didn't know what to do. And so she went to her son, who was a millennial, and she's like, what about marijuana? And he's like, oh, let me, and gathered all the friends, and she shared it, and she's like, oh, well, being a mom, she's like, I need a coach, and I'm like, hi. And the funny thing is I came out of the cannabis closet like then. I had been out of the closet to my family since I was 15. So it was more stigmatized to be a pot smoker than to be gay.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but then once I was helping my sister Mary, she's like, at family gatherings, yeah, come on out back, we'll have a joint, and before bed, and I was like, this is weird. you know, it's like, anyway, so, but then we wrote the book, and I wrote textbooks in a past life, so I know how to engage people, and you pitch your stories, and you give people's how it helped them, and there's so many people. So anyway, that's the book. We wrote it. It's been all over the world.
Yeah, you can get it on Amazon. It's like just a really straightforward reference about everything you would need to know about cannabis. It's really amazing.
Well, thank you.
You could read it all day.
Well, I meant it to be a reference book. Like there's a 6-picture of how to roll a joint.
Ooh, a brownie chapter.
There's a chapter on edibles, big warnings, but also the recipe of how to dose your brownies, which is important because you don't want to send people off the cliff. And also, but lots of pictures and charts. I mean, people engage with it because it's full of pictures. And because of that, it's been universal. So I have a doctor, a friend of mine's nephew is a doctor, and he is treating his mother, my friend's aunt, who has Alzheimer's with CBD, and she doesn't have that violence, that anger. And, things like that. It just, that's why I wrote the book.
When are we going to get there with mushrooms?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the next book. right now, what you guys need to know is everybody should write the select board because we have a decriminalization referendum bill, whatever you want to call it, for the select board to pass. Awesome. And what we can do, and what the organization I'm working with, Bay Staters for Natural Medicine, is to decriminalize. So the select board can set police priorities. And it's like, okay, set this to a 0 priority.
Yeah.
So basically, we do not enforce the laws and make drug use a public health issue. I mean, I think we've talked about that in this town of like having more public health response as opposed to police response for all drug use. And this way, you know, then we can do things like, maybe have day spas here in the winter when we have all these unused hotels and spas and people to help people through their trauma. Provincetown has always been healing. If we could bring people here to heal with natural plant medicine, and it doesn't have to be a full-on, you know, psilocybin trip. Imagine a salt soak in CBD and herb-infused salts.
Sign me
and
up.
then after that, you go for an infused massage. I mean, that will transform people's life. And we're not even into dab bars and whatever, mushrooms and all that.
There is precedence for this. There are other towns in Massachusetts who have decriminalized psilocybin already, right? Salem?
Salem's more progressive than Provincetown.
Weird. It's the witches.
Salem, Cambridge, Somerville, Northampton, and
We'll get there.
That feels like a list we should be on.
it does. And I'm like, yes, let's do this. I mean, I saw them in the spring, and I'm just like, why haven't we done this here? I thought it was the West Coast that was more progressive.
The Bay Staters have been doing informational meetings at Porch Bar, correct?
Yes, at the Gifford House in the Wild Room.
Love it.
And the next one, it'll be I have to whip out my phone, but it'll be in early December, and not the Holly Folly week, but the week after.
Okay,
so I
awesome.
think that's the 9th, because everybody will do their Holly Folly, and the next week we'll gather people. I'll make chili, and we're going to show Fantastic Fun Guy, the movie.
I watched that movie. It was wild to me.
Yeah.
It left me with a lot of
When did
thinking
you
to do.
watch it?
A few years ago. It came out on Netflix a few years ago. It's
Yeah.
very wild. You leave thinking about mushrooms and funguses and fungi in an entirely different way.
Oh, it really is, and once you start down the rabbit hole, I'm talking. I mean, expanded consciousness and one universal thought, and you know all this great spiritual stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of people, oh yeah, let's trip on mushrooms, but there's also a very spiritual element to it, which
Yeah.
also vibes with the natural. You know, take a dose of psilocybin, go walk on the beach, go walk in nature.
I know people who use microdosing as a way to manage, you said, like trauma,
Anxiety,
PTSD,
trauma.
anxiety, depression.
Yep.
It's really exciting, and there should be more avenues to study it scientifically so that we can move forward.
So you're going to want to write into your select board members before December 11th. That's when they're having their meeting. There's like a selectman in the room right now, isn't there?
Somewhere.
Where did he
Oh,
go?
he's one of the main
He's right
proponents.
there.
There he
He's
is.
our hero.
We'll tell him right after the show.
No,
Send a letter,
he's
write
the
a
motor.
letter.
He's the motor.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming in today. This is a really interesting topic. Follow Gifford House on Instagram. They always post about everything they've got going on there, but especially their Bay Staters meetings about psilocybin. Let's head over to Babes and Boys to find out everything we've got going on this weekend.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I hope that worked.
Good morning, everyone. We're going to dive right in. Today, Friday, we have several fun events, including a Bordeaux tasting at Perry's Wine Shop from 4 to 6 p.m. That's complimentary, so come on through, say hello. What the Constitution Means to Me is a new play that started this week and it runs through December 3rd. That's at the Provincetown Theater. And Hillary Tamar will be belting her beautiful voice at Tin Pan every Friday at 9 p.m. They also have a new tavern menu, so go check that out.
And on Monday, Cody Plays at 6 p.m. is once a month. Also, Noodle Night is at the Governor Bradford's. And there's a book club with Hillary Tamar and Hannah Hill at Joe's Coffee Shop, Mondays at 7 p.m.
Tuesday night is weekly game night at Crown and Anchor in the Wave Bar with Giselle. That kicks off at 8 p.m.
And then Wednesday is Confession at Porch Bar. It's Gifford's answer to Halo throughout the winter. Also, it started last week and will be a weekly event.
Thursday is both $5 Townie Night at the Cinema, as well as a featured film series that's in partnership with Pam. These films will not be $5, but they do help support keeping our local cinema open year-round. This week's selection is Official Competition. It features Antonio Banderas. Ooh. Also, Giselle will be performing at the Post Office Weekly at 8 p.m. On Thursdays.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. And for any updates on further events over Thanksgiving and for the upcoming weeks, please check out babesandboys.com.
With an I. Babes and Boys with an I. Thanks all. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Hi. Thanks so much, babes and boys. We now have the full cast of The Petty Four. It is this upcoming holiday show. It's going to be showing on the weekend after Thanksgiving and also Holly Folly weekend. Thanks for coming in today.
Thanks for having us, boys.
Star cast. How did this come to be?
Oh, it's a great question. Yeah. We were bickering backstage, and we just came up with this idea of like Pettifours, the dessert, but like a girl group of just girls who are angry at each other and trying to sabotage each other in an all-live concert. Mm-hmm. So the Petty Four became this group idea.
And once you realized you wanted sabotage pettiness, you were like, let's get Joelle.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm in a very vulnerable state right now.
Is it because it's 9:30 in the morning?
It's 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, because the three of you were performing together all summer in Divas.
That's right.
Knocking it out of the
too.
park. Yeah,
That's right.
Everybody that went that I talked to, it was their favorite show all summer.
Thank you.
Crushing it. And then made room for baby boy Pinta Bean.
Second favorite show.
We're also
had a hit show.
Yeah,
I know.
But we're also very mad at Joel because he's been in drag for all of 10 minutes.
I know.
And looks better than the three
First
of us
time she painted her face, I was like, bitch!
Stunning. Yeah. It's not fair. So I'm putting glass in her foundation.
Petty.
Petty.
So who wrote the show?
Jacques Lamar wrote the show, who writes for Varla. Mm-hmm. So he wrote the show. We have choreography by Timothy Bitch, who teaches Helltown Fitness, who's actually a Broadway veteran.
Yeah.
Marcus Hoy did the wigs. Gidget Galore did the costumes for us.
No way.
So it's like this all-star sort of holiday treat that we're bringing to Provincetown that we hope becomes a long tradition.
Yeah. So it's the Petty Four is a girl group. You each have kind of your, as most girl groups, everyone has their vibe.
Yeah.
What's each of y'all's vibe?
Okay, I'm Ramada Raspberry, who's like Rachel Berry from Glee.
The try-hard.
The self-appointed leader and neurotic about things being perfect. So
and
me.
I play Lululemon. No, and don't get it confused.
You're about to get a cease and desist. You're about to get a cease and desist.
I had the name first, and yes, lawyers have been contacted. But Lululemon is the Beyonce of the group. She wants her own solo tour, and actually she has an album that's dropping. You'll have to see the show to know what the name of the album is.
Very method with this.
Kaya's kind of the villain in this show.
I am.
Although she's not a villain, she's a villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I love it. It's really getting into the meat and bones of the. It's good.
Pinta?
Who do you play?
I'm Peaches and Cream, who's the sex-obsessed party girl. So, a total stretch.
Yeah, right? Really tough.
And I'm Violet Blueberry, the Wednesday Addams of the group. She sees spirits. She's witchy. She is the embodiment of a haunted house, basically.
I like to say that we don't know how she got there, so she has seasonal depression because she's a summer dessert in Winterland.
So the three of you have been performing under your drag names for so long, but this is Joel's first performance under his brand new drag name. What is it?
It's Pinta Bean. Because, well, I have a drag mother, Madonna with a T.
Same.
And a drag stepmother, Miss Cracker. I think she's watching, so hi, Mom. And Cracker put me in drag for Carnival. And did a beauty mark on my face, and I was teaching her Portuguese all throughout the summer because she wanted to learn. And she was like, how do I say that in Portuguese? And I was like, Pinta. And she was like, oh, Pinta. And Pinta became the name, and Pinta Bean because I'm her Latina daughter, so.
That's so sweet.
That is
I
a
love
very
that.
sweet origin story.
Okay. Let's do the little sizzle reel we
Sure.
got for you. This is a little peek into what the show's going to look like.
is Violet Blueberry.
Ramada, raspberry.
Lululemon.
Peaches and cream.
Would you get down on your knees for me?
3 words that describe myself.
Peppy, achieving, democratic.
Sour pussy bitch. Loose, lubricated, and fun.
Living life like I'm in a dream.
Santa's not the only lap I'll sit on.
Come see the Petty Foreigner Just Desserts World Tour.
Happening this Christmas.
Vodka.
To the core, core, core. Every day is a chore. When you give, I want more. I wanna be adored, 'cause I'm a prima donna good.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, all I ever.
That looks like so much fun.
So when is opening night?
The 24th, the day after we stuff our faces full of turkey.
It's going to be a good one.
I can't wait. And then,
So it's all singing live, dancing.
It's all singing live. It's the story of 4 desserts who are kicked out of the North Pole for being nasty and naughty, and they can't get back until they find the meaning of Christmas. So it's a redemption story, you know, in their own weird, twisted drag queen way.
Joe's been telling me you've been doing rehearsals all day, every day, hours and hours.
Yeah.
Boom cats at 5, 6, 7, 8
rehearsals. It's hard, but it's rewarding, and everyone looks so good doing it.
And it's fun because it's like going back to musical theater all over again. And I know for like me personally, I haven't done musical theater in several years. So it's like one of those moments where it's like, oh my God, I have to get up at like 8 a.m. and get my coffee and go to rehearsal. But then I get there and I'm just like having fun and my body's working out and I'm like, oh, okay.
Getting back into it was like overwhelming at first, but then it's like riding a bike. You're like, oh, this is fun. Like, once the endorphins going, it's something that you look forward to.
And you got your sisters with you.
That's right. Yeah, we're having
And
a ball.
spending the day with Tim Bish is such a treat.
I'm jealous.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I can't wait.
Where can we get tickets?
Only at thecrown.com.
Link in description.
Oh, and in the description.
Below.
Right here.
Yeah. Thank you all so
the
much for
people.
coming in today. I'm so
Yeah, I
excited
can't
for the
wait.
show. I think it's.
Thank you for
I think it's
having
going to be
us.
an iconic moment.
Yay!
Iconic moment!
One more announcement. The Kook Family Fund is having an event at the Crown on December 5th from 7 to 9. Put it on your calendars. It is an organization who now is raising money to support local families in need in this
Formerly the
holiday
Toy
season.
Drive. It's the Tuesday after Holly Folly weekend, 7 to 9, which is a very reasonable time of day to do a fundraiser.
That's the right time.
This is going to be the first kook drive that I remember because I don't drink anymore.
Hey.
When they used to do it down under Enzo in the Grotto Bar, I'd wake up by the toilet.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like a good time.
A drinky event. They might even be performing at
Yeah,
this.
absolutely, absolutely.
Work. Thank you all so much for watching today. Thank you to our sponsors, the Crown and Anchor, Provincetown Business Guild, the Boat Slip, Shipwreck the Bresky, and also the Provincetown Business Guild. We're also looking for brand new winter sponsors, so
Reach out.
give us a shout out.
Yeah, thank you for waking up in Provincetown.
Wherever you are.
Oh, yeah.
Next week.
For our very special holiday gift giving guide.
Yes.
Special.
Special.
Good morning, everybody. Wake up. Wake up, wake up. In Provincetown.